HD Rhodes live and direct, man. Just sitting up here getting ready to get on the train. Heading on my way to go ahead and grab my children. Man, in the background, you got the airport behind me. And you got a beautiful outlet mall over there, Vancouver. Outlet mall. It's where you can get all your designer outlet clothing. If you want to go ahead and get your, Ralph Lauren, Polo, you can go ahead and get all that at the outlet store, all your top name brands. Anyways, man, I'm just over here, like I said, getting ready to get on the train. I just want to go ahead and knock out a quick presentation for you. And anyways, man, thank you, everybody on the West Coast, man. You guys are probably busy just getting off of work. Man, that train was crazy. I took the train from over by downtown Vancouver to this airport. Now I'm transferring to go to Richmond, go ahead and pick up my kids, and it was just crazy. Felt like I was a sardine, like they're getting ready to take me out of the package and put me on a pizza, man. Anyways, man, what I want to go ahead and talk to you guys today about is, the opportunity to stop trading your time for money, the opportunity to be able to take advantage of the trends. The time is now. I'm telling you, AI is taking over. And before it takes over your job, I want to give you the opportunity to be able to leverage AI, for you to be able to make an income. Imagine being able to make a 6-figure income from the comfort of your home, leveraging technology and AI, because there's a brand new platform that's literally about to be launched this week that's going to bless you to be able to earn an income, literally learning to monetize your own gifts. I'm talking about the gifts that God made you with, not the gift in which you had to go ahead and go to school, not the gift that you literally had to grind and try to figure out. I'm not talking about the gift that, you struggled in corporate America, trying to make it to the top, trading your time for dollars. I'm talking about the gift God put in your heart. I'm talking about the things that make you more excited than ever before. Imagine being able to turn your gifts and your passions and the things you love into an income, being able to travel anywhere you want in the world and making anywhere from 5 figures to 6 figures, maybe even 7 figures a month, just living your dreams. That's what I'm here to talk to you about today. But you know what? Before we get started, I will have one question. If you had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do different? What would you do with your time? Would you go on vacation? Would you be getting ready to go to the airport? Where would you go? The Maldives? Where would you go? Would you go to the mountains? Would you go down to the water, the beaches? What is your dreams? What is your goals? How would you live? Where would you live? In the mansions? I don't know, up in the hills, by the water? What is your passion? Whatever it is, I want you to get a pen and a paper right now, and I want you to start writing it down. Because you know what? The one thing that I've learned over the last 50 years on this planet is if you don't have a why that makes you cry, if you don't have a big goal, a big dream, you're not going to be able to accomplish it. Because in life, there's always going to be challenges. And you got to have something that you're passionate about, something that you're visualizing that's going to keep you working, that's going to keep you grinding in the hard times. Anyone can go ahead and do things in the good times, but what is it going to keep you moving forward? What is it passionate about that's going to keep you moving forward? Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe you have a sick one or a loved one who's in a hospital. Whatever it is, write it down. Because what I want to do over the next 15 to 25 minutes is expose you to a platform that's going to radically change your life. And you go, HD, I want to understand, well, how did this come about? Well, if you understand at the turn of this century, you know what? We went from that. Back in the early 1900s, they went from the agricultural age, and they shifted all the way into the Industrial Revolution. And you know what? There was a lot of money that transferred hands. As the money went from the land in agriculture, farming, etc., to everyone moving into the cities because of the Industrial Revolution, had factories growing up everywhere. You had, you look in Detroit, Motor City, you had all these car companies, that came up. Look at this. And all these people started building, manufacturing, these warehouses. They're building all sorts of products as you can imagine. And then they started shipping it through the railroads because as technology continued to change, you know what happened? They were shipping the products from the East Coast to the West Coast, and from the West Coast to the East Coast. But as technology became more and more efficient, you see logistics companies like the DHLs, come on now, Federal Express, UPS, yeah, that's right. And as they started to streamline the distribution system, you see direct sales companies start popping up left and right. And you see money being made faster than ever before. Back in the Industrial Revolution, you had millionaires being created. In streamlined distribution, you had millionaires making money within the 2 to 5 year period of time because they were at the right time and at the right place. And then as they shifted into the dot-com era, you see millionaires literally being created overnight as they took their products and their services and businesses online in the dot-com era. And that's when you got to find out people like Jeff Bezos. He had a dream, he had a vision. And what was his dream and vision? He wanted to be the largest book distributor in the world. And he started that business just in his garage. And imagine this, he went from working in finance to starting a business in his garage. And a time where his major competition literally already had a leg up. They literally already had bookstores literally on every corner in North America connected to a Starbucks. Talk about Barnes & Noble. And if in Canada, we'd be talking about Chapters Indigo. But Jeff Bezos had a dream, got in business at the right time, at the right place. Look at how packed this train is. 9 to 5, baby. So he went ahead and started his business. And the rest is history. Because he doesn't only distribute books all over the world, he's now taken over and became the largest distributor of toys, technology, clothing, makeup, health, you name it, right? Amazon.com. There's not a house that you walk by in a rural area where you don't see packages all over. And it all started with the dream. And he capitalized on being at the right place at the right time. But right now, you have the same thing going on with social media. You have people who are becoming content creators overnight, making millions of dollars, just like me and you, on social media platforms. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok. And this is the opportunity that you have in your hand. Okay? And so as these things start to happen, you have to understand, you know what, why is this happening? Number one, we just talked about the trends. We're headed to AI. AI is making jobs, companies leaner, meaner. They're laying off people. Hundreds of millions of people are losing their job these days to AI. You know, all you got to do is go look at these big companies. Look at Toys R Us. Go online. Look how many people got laid off for Toys R Us, okay? Why? You're next. Look at all these cars that are driving themselves. Over in Europe, they even got trucks that are driving themselves. So if you're in the trucking industry, all you got is about 2 to 5 years before you're going to be out of a job. That's because of AI. But the question is, what are you doing to leverage AI for yourself? The next station is I'm 50 years old, and I've been blessed to start using ChatGPT, okay, in the AI program, start writing my own presentations. And you know what? If an old guy can go ahead and learn a new trick, you can too. And here's a platform I want to introduce you to that's going to teach you to do just that. You're going to be able to leverage, you know what, technology, education, mentorship, communications, okay? They're also going to go ahead and bless you if you need help branding, whatever your dream and passion is, they got that too. And if you need venture capitalist money to be able to get started, they got that too. Now you ask, hey Steve, what company has a platform that's going to do all that and more? More is in 160 countries in which already over 70,000 entrepreneurs have already opted in. And you were asleep. You didn't know. This company literally was birthed overnight, starting in the middle of December 17th till just last week. Over 70,000 entrepreneurs have checked and said yes to this opportunity to turn their dreams into a reality. The name of the company is Vyb, VYB. Visualize your breakthrough. And so what I challenge you today is you need to think long and hard. Where do you want to be? Okay, when they write the history of when the AI took over, where were you? Are you going to be one of those people who like Jeff Bezos or like Bill Gates or like the Rockefellers? Are you going to be like the Vanderbilts who was at the right time at the right place and they made a decision to put their stake in the ground at history, and so now their great grandkids know them? Because I know a lot of us don't know who our great grandparents are. Why? Because they didn't take a stake in the claim in history at the right time in the right place, and you have an opportunity to do that. So let's talk about, you know, the nightmare, because everyone loves to talk about the dream and all the reasons why. Let's talk about what's going to happen if you don't. Well, number one, we already talked about AI is taking over dreams. It's taking over your dream job that you have. You went to school, you know, you're working 10 to 12 hours a day. You're riding in these stuffed trains, you know, in traffic to go to work. Then you're coming home, you're tired, you don't get time to spend with your spouse or your kids or your loved ones. And then after working for that job for 40 years of your life, you're going to try to retire on 40% of that income that you could barely survive on, right? Trying to fight inflation, which doubles the price of what? Cost of living every 10 years. So if you graduate from college, you have a good job right now. After going to Harvard, Stanford, McGill, or UBC, you're making $100,000 a year. Congratulations. But in 2035, are you going to be making $200,000 a year? In 2045, are you going to be making $400,000 a year? In 2055, are you going to be making $800,000 a year? Well, you know what? With your average CEOs not making that much money, I think it's a very slim chance you're going to be able to do that. And so I want to introduce you to a product that's going to allow you to be able to, instead of getting taxed 3 times a year, getting taxed when you get paid check, getting taxed when you spend money, getting taxed once a year when you got to pay your taxes, you have an opportunity to make the full $100,000 that you went to school for. And then you're able to go ahead, save your receipts, and to be able to start putting your receipts away so that you have tax write-offs. So it's going to work against the income in which that you spent. So you're going to be able to keep the full $100,000. Say you spent $60,000 in an attempt to try to go ahead and move your business forward. You're going to get together with a business tax accountant. They're going to teach you how to write that off, and you're literally going to be able to pay taxes if you spend $60,000 basically off of an income of $40,000, because you have a totally different taxes than if you have W-2 or a T4. Now, if you had a T4 or W-2, you know what's going to happen if you have a job that pays you $100,000? Number one, you're going to get taxed. Okay, so you're only going to receive 50% of that. So now you're going to spend $50,000 of that. Then you're going to go ahead and try to pay for your living, your transportation. You're going to go ahead and try to go ahead and pay for your clothing. And you know what? You're going to try to live off of that. And at the end of the year, what's going to happen? You're actually going to have to pay taxes on that full $100,000 that they promised you that you only got half of. Okay, so the difference in the two tax economies is huge. But let's talk about the third income, or third way that you lose income. Okay, the third income drain, and that's interest. After you got done paying between $250,000 and $400,000 to be able to get that good education, you know what? If you had to take out a loan, you got to pay interest. If you got a house, you got a car, you got to go ahead and pay interest on that too. That's what the interest rate is all about. Okay. Last but not least, what you also need to think about is insurance, which is the fourth of our four income drains. Okay. Insurance, you're going to have house insurance, car insurance. If you travel, you better have travel insurance. God forbid you're 3,000 miles away and you get sick. And last but not least, I don't care what they tell you about insurance being free for medical in Canada. I'm in Canada right now, and I still have deductibles whenever I go take out medicine. Okay, so you have four income drains you got to go ahead and fight. So Robert Kiyosaki talked about 30 years ago in a book in which he created that was called Rich Dad Poor Dad. You know, you need to understand there's two things that's going to affect your money. Number one, assets. Number two, liabilities. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out your pocket. When you're looking at a business opportunity, you're looking at putting your money in a business, an asset, something that's going to add more money value into your bank account versus taking money out. The money that's being taken out of your pocket creating a business is actually now considered a tax write-off. Okay, so these are the things in which you need to keep in mind. So let's talk about this awesome business platform that we like to call Vyb, visualizing your breakthrough. Now, Vyb is a company that's put together by three phenomenal, incredible individuals. Number one, Miss Megan Lynch. She is a legend maker. Megan Lynch has made over tens of millions of dollars in the direct sales industry, and she first got in after she was trying to teach entrepreneurship as a teacher, an English teacher, at one of the best high schools in the nation. And you know what? She actually wanted to go ahead and do that because she had a heart for children. And she got tired of seeing that, you know what, there was, good families that were being broken up because of lack of money. And so, you know what, there's kids who would be coming to school, they'd be upset because their friends got shot and because of the urban lifestyle. And she wanted to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So she started SOS, which stood for Save Our Sons. And it was an after-school program where she wanted to teach entrepreneurship to those children so that they would have an opportunity to have a better life. Okay, now what happened is that she started doing that, she went and applied for a government grant. She got $100,000, and her and her sister, Reagan Lynch, who's phenomenal at networking, and one of the reasons in which this company is literally has some of the best technology, best banking system, some of the top corporations are working with us, all because of Reagan Lynch. We are blessed to have these two twins working with us. But their goal overall was to go ahead and to be able to teach you how to monetize your gifts so that you will be able to live your life in your dreams. Now, the third business owner, he's literally almost a billionaire. He's a multi-millionaire. He's in the tech sector, and he's the one who's went ahead and used his ingenuity. He's used his gifts to be able to create this platform on the technology side. So together, the three of these individuals who have superpowers, making money, networking, and technology, have come together to create one of the best and number one business platforms on the planet, known as Vyb. Visualize your breakthrough. So now here's their number one goal. Their number one goal is to help you to be able to monetize your gifts. You go, HD, how are they going to do that? Well, they're going to take you from step one, to done. So all they're going to do is, number one, you know what? If you just need help learning. Now, what is my gift? Finding out what your gift, they have an education platform that they're going to be able to teach you how how to draw out your gifts. If you go, hey, you know what, HD, that all sounds good. You know what? Maybe all I want to do is just learn how to make money. Well, that's fantastic, because with their core product, when they first started this company, what they wanted originally to do was to create a financial literacy school. Okay, so which means that you have educators and you have a full university that's going to teach you all about finances. They're going to teach you about crypto, DeFi. They're going to teach you about how to be a professional investor, if that's all you want to do. But if you really want to focus on, you know what, not just making money in that particular field, and you want to learn how to make money being an entrepreneur and being able to go ahead and grow your own gift, then guess what? They have that too. They have educators, entrepreneurs who are there to be your mentors. They're also going to be able to help give you the training that you need. They also have, man, one of the most incredible training programs to help your mindset. Because the first thing that you're ever going to learn when it comes to being successful in business is what I was told by one of my mentors 30 years ago. He said, HD, if you want to be a millionaire, then the first thing you got to understand is you got to walk like a millionaire, you got to talk like a millionaire. And I go, well, how are you going to do that? He says, you got to learn to think like a millionaire. And to think like a millionaire, you need to read like a millionaire. And you know what? They left nothing to chance. And so what they literally have is they have, you know what, a part of Vyb in which you're literally going to be able to learn, you know, from the top minds, top success individuals, and they're going to be able to be trained how to think like a successful business entrepreneur. So you go, you know what, that's great, HD, but what if I already have my product? What I already have my business, but what I need help is with branding. Well, that's awesome, because you know what this company did? They literally have something called Vyb branding. And the whole point of Vyb branding is to help teach you to be able to learn how to brand your product. Okay, you might be missing money. You go, I don't know, I have everything done, but I just need the money. I don't got the support. I don't got the people around me who want to invest in me. Guess what? Vyb took care of that too. They got Vyb Venture, which they have Vyb Venture, which is a venture capitalist who you'll be able to pitch your business plans and ideas to them, just like a Shark Tank, just like a Lion's Den. Okay, you go, HD, that sounds really great, but you know what? I already got a business. I already got my brand. You know, I've already launched it. You know, the one thing I need, HD, I need customers. And you know what? That's awesome, because what my mentor actually introduced me to this incredible opportunity. His name is Jerome Majette. And what Jerome Majette is going to do is two-pronged. Number one, he's actually one of the educators on this Vyb platform. Why? Because he studied something that is called marketing, okay? And it's attraction marketing. And attraction marketing is actually a system in which they're going to be able to teach you how to not just be out there hunting, looking for the ideal customer. They're going to teach you the mindset, the skill set, the psychology, and how to go from being the hunter to the hunted. How you're going to be able to market your business in a way where your ideal clients are going to be looking for you and for your product. Okay. Now, the other thing that's really cool about that is he's going to be teaching you that, but then you're also going to be able to apply that. And then outside of that is they have one more thing that's even better for helping you marketing, not just attraction marketing, but imagine they're going to give you not just accessibility, but visibility. They have Vyb Spotlight. Imagine the company's literally going to be spotlighting all the brand new companies, all the brand new people who have their own businesses. After you have had a chance to be vetted, you went through the marketing process, you went through learning all that you need to brand yourself. They're literally going to be spotlighting your business, not just in front of the 70,000 entrepreneurs who've opted in, and not just in front of their hundreds of customers, not just in front of 7 million brand new eyeballs. They're literally going to have you being spotlighted in over 160 countries. That's what we bring here with Vyb. Vyb literally is a company that's going to help you go from step one to done. Nothing missing, nothing lacking at all. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about the compensation plan. Vyb's compensation plan is top notch. It's number one. There's literally 5 ways you get paid, one of which I'll break down right now. You know what? The coolest thing that Jerome first told me when he introduced me to this is, HD, you know, I wrote this book, man, 18 years ago. And then I put it on Amazon. And he said, you know what? I had a platform. It was great. I had the accessibility. But the problem was I didn't have visibility. I didn't have anyone driving eyeballs to my book. And this is the one cool thing that he told me about Vyb, with the spotlight, with the marketing that he's going to be teaching that he learned so that he would be able to grow, you know what, his YouTube channel called How God Made Man by Jerome Majette. He was able to build his YouTube channel because of attraction marketing from 0 all the way to 19,000 subscribers in 6 to 8 months. Imagine if you had literally 19,000 subscribers looking at your product. I'll give you an example. On Vyb, for instance, if you had only 1,000 people who were looking at your product, okay, and you sell whatever your product was, let's call it a book, and everyone wanted to go take your class to learn all the things you're teaching in your value-added course that you teach from your book, okay? So if you had 1,000 people sign up for your course, say each course runs for just 1 month, and you had 1,000 people sign up. So that means that literally that first month you would have made $20,000. Now, if everyone referred just one person, then that means the next month you would have earned over $40,000. And last but not least, let's say if everyone invited just one more person to learn about your book or your course that you're teaching, and now you had a total on the third month, literally you had 1,000 people the first month, they all referred one, so you had 2,000 the second month, they all referred one, now you have 4,000 people taking your value-added course the third month. Now you'll be making $80,000 a month in your sleep, because not all these people are going to be able to meet your live. And the great thing about Vyb is Vyb Global, where you'll be teaching this course, is they record all of your teaching so that anyone around the world, no matter what time zone they are able to take your course. And they just pay, you know what, their monthly fee, kind of like a gym membership. Speaking of which, you know what, let's talk about gym memberships. One of the coolest things about the second way you can get paid with Vyb is, you know what, it's kind of like a gym membership. You know, right now a lot of people have a Netflix membership, they have an Amazon Prime membership, some people even have a Costco membership. Imagine if Vyb, you know, allowed you to be able to have a platform where they have the AI for you to be able to go ahead and make your own videos, kind of like in video. Imagine if they kind of had their own AI robot, kind of like ChatGPT. Imagine if they gave you, you know, your own platform to be able to reach out to the World Wide Web, and not only that, tap into all of their network of 7 million eyeballs, the 100 customers of the 70,000 entrepreneurs. How much would you pay for that? I'm gonna stop right there. Okay. I don't know about you, but the coolest thing about this is to be able to get started with Vyb in this company costs less than $1,000. One of the greatest things about this is, imagine if it was like a gym and your gym membership was $50 and they said, you know what, next time you're about to come in and work out at the gym, if you bring any of your friends, you know what, we're going to give them a free membership for 7 days. Now at the end of 7 days, if they want to go ahead and join the gym, for the fact that you brought them, we're going to give you a $10 thank you. I don't know about you, but I'd sign up for that program all day long. You know what? All that is direct sales. Okay, that's all it is all day long. I'd sign up for that for the movie theater. I'd sign up for that for, you know, instead of getting a free burrito, I'd rather get, you know, for every 5 people, give me like $10 back. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing more than direct sales, word of mouth marketing. And for this company, they do the same thing. For every entrepreneur, content creator, educator, or any other business person who has a dream, vision, or goal, who wants to go ahead and launch their business or get educated on their business, or they just simply want to be a student at Vyb's Financial Literacy Academy, Vyb is going to send you a thank you check. Now, I don't know about you, but you know what? I appreciate that. You know, especially in these days, I already explained to you the 4 income drains. You got to have something to combat inflation. Come on, interest, come on, income tax, insurance. Why not get paid for doing what you're already doing just by telling somebody about a fantastic movie you've seen, like Mission Impossible? You know what? The movies won't do it, but Vyb will. Okay, so that's the second income stream. Let's talk about the third income stream. One of the cool things about Vyb is if you're a direct sales marketer, if you're a sales guy, you know what? You love to build great networks. You know what? Vyb has literally one of the #1 compensation plans. Imagine, Vyb has a 100% match. What do you mean by that? Cool thing about Vyb is this is what they say. Vyb goes, look, you're gonna, every time you get that $10, right? What if you gave you a 100% match on that $10 for everyone you directly brought in who wanted to go ahead and build the direct side of this business? Vyb does that. Now, guess what? They made it even better. What if they gave you 50% on everyone that person brought in directly? They do that. Now, here's the coolest part about it. You know what else they do? They have these $5 checks that they pay 10 generations down, and $3 checks they pay 10 generations down. Now, you know what? Don't take my word for it. What I want you to do is get with the person who invited you to my live and have them send you a copy of the compensation video, as well as go to myvyb.io and take a look at the legal paperwork for the compensation plan. So I'm getting ready to get on this bus real quick to go see my kids. I got off the train. You see all the people who was here getting off of work. And you know what you need to do? You need to share this platform, because a lot of these people are going to be losing their jobs in North America over the next 2 to 5 years. And with what I just shared with you with Vyb, visualizing your breakthrough, teaching people how to monetize their gifts, you know what? You may be able to save their family's financial future. And you know what? Live their dreams. I'm HD. God bless. Have a good day.